Good morning. We're here at a new start. Actually, it's a home that we've treated a few years ago, but they've hired us today to do spider control, ant control. Actually, the treatment we'll do is going to cover about 200 insects. But before we start treating these homes, we want to remove the webbing that's on the structure and any wasp nests that are here. And we use this Weber pole. It's extendable. We have some really long ones that we can use, but this particular home's a ranch style. We won't need to do that. If you spray the webbing that's on the home, it'll actually glue it to this type of siding, and it makes it difficult to get off. You'll have to power wash it. Also, by removing the nesting, it's going to disturb those spiders. With some spiders, if you continue to remove the nesting, that in fact will stress the spider enough to kill it. So we always want to knock all the webs on that we can see and safely reach. On some homes that are too tall, we're not going to put ourselves in danger or a liability to the homeowner, to my company, where a technician is going to get hurt falling off a ladder in order to knock down a web. So you have to really evaluate the risk versus the benefit in this situation. So we just kind of work our way around. We visually look. You can see here from last fall where the spiders have really work these areas, and when you leave storage around a home like that, it just leaves an area for the insects and rodents to harbage under. So if they would listen and follow my conditions conducive, I would move this away from the structure or try to use the product up and not leave it here. Also, it's hard to mow around, which you creates more weeds for insects and rodents to hide in. So an area we always like to hit is the trash cans. This is an area you're going to use all the time, and a lot of companies will neglect to do an area that you send the kids out to bring the trash, open the handle, and what do you have? You have webs everywhere underneath it, because there's pine trees, pine needles and leaves will stick in there. Just a simple process, wiping those off. Some colors on homes, you can't see the webs until the sun hits it. So we always want to hit these edges, these lines, and been in this business long enough to know that insects like to follow the lines of the homes, and because that's the areas that are going to be safe for them to hide in. You have to be real careful with shutters, because wasps will go up inside there and build a nest. And then as we're wiping them off, especially when it's hot, this time of the morning it's cool enough that they're not going to come out and attack us, because they will really defend their nest. The paper wasp will. But our treatment can protect your home and your family. You're sitting out here around your picnic table trying to have a little picnic or barbecue, and you're going to be attacked by bees and or wasps. So these areas here, same thing. You want to have a nice little party with your family or get together with your loved ones, and you got spiders crawling up on your plate, and we can keep those off. And this is where spiders like to live. They want to hang out in areas where they're protected and undisturbed. They've contracted us to do this home through the summer, and we like to do a spring treatment, a summer treatment, and a fall treatment. So if there's something that we miss, if it's a safety issue, they're going to call us immediately. We're going to come out and take care of that problem. We don't want any wasp bee situations here that's going to affect their family's safety. But a spider or an ant or an earwig or those 200 insects that we cover plus, we're going to hit those on those follow-up treatments. And so I feel pretty confident with what we'll do today. We're going to get them through the first part of the season. We'll lay down a protective barrier. We'll keep this home safe. see here where they've put a piece of metal in where these two soffit areas reach, and probably a bird or something was going in there, which also would allow bees or wasps to build a nest back in there. So they've excluded the insects and or birds, wildlife from getting in here. Exclusion is the best form of pest control. If you could caulk every seam and crack on your home, which is virtually impossible, you could do it, but that would keep every insect or a pest from coming into your structure. But it's not practical. And so we'll use the chemical products to provide what you can't do through exclusion. Of course, the better the sealed up the home, the better your pest control is going to be, or your insects. You see this light on here, of course it's still early spring, but what that's going to do is attract flying insects. And if you've ever noticed around your home, why are there so many webs around my opening of my structure? You come walking through, you have webs in your face, and it's because of the light. It just attracts so many insects, and this doesn't have a dormer over it, and we see that in a lot of situations where it's just covered with webs. Well, that's because the light's on. There's a couple things you can do. You can change the color of the bulb, which will help, and or you can just put it on a timer to where you always remember to shut it off, save you electricity, the environment, of course. But the insects, situation is kind of what we look at with the lights. Anywhere we have lights, we have to pay a little bit closer attention. So, just an idea for you, suggestion. We have lots of those always. We always want the client's help. They have to be active in their control program also. But if they're not, there's still a lot we can do, to protect the home from the nuisance pests and or safety issues you might have. Now this is ready to treat now, so we're going to go on to the next phase of it. Good morning. This is the second part of our application on the home today for the spider insect control. We like to use Shubies, the foot protection, and these are twofold. Of course, if we're coming in your home, we're always going to put these on. We don't want to track your home up, but also for me doing this process, I don't want to bring product into my cab. I'm in there every day. I have coffee, snacks, drinks during the course of the day, and I don't want to bring chemical inside of my truck. Even though the products that we use are all caution labeled, and let me explain that just for a minute. Caution label versus warning and or danger, we're talking about toxicities of the products. We're the end user. We're using this every single day. So as a company, and a decision that I've made is that we're going to use all caution label products around and in people's homes. And a comparison of products here, some common products you may know, off that you put on yourself for insect control, that has the same toxicity of the product we're using in our tanks. Lysol that you may use, a common product in your home that's under your sink, you use around your home, is warning, which is a step up in toxicity. And then you have your danger, which is a skull and crossbones, which is the most toxic products that we could use or you could use in your home, are very corrosive, an acid type product. That would be like your works that you use in your toilet to clean those out. We stay away from the warning and danger products. We don't see that benefit versus risk with those because science is here today in our formulations. We're dealing at molecular levels with insects to where it affects the insect and doesn't affect mammals. So we feel a little safer in using these products. First thing I want to do, first job of the day especially, is to agitate my tank. The products do settle out and they won't be mixed properly, so if I started the engine up and used it immediately, what we'd end up with is a stronger product, through half the home, and we don't want that to happen. So I'm going to go ahead and do a mix this morning and agitate the product. We're in the spray process of the treatment plan. What I'm trying to do here is apply a barrier around the structure. This is where most of the insects are going to come in. Get right there with the foundation. and the structure meet. And we're going to go ahead and hit these lines I talked about. Now this may not be necessary every time, but in the first treatment, this is what I want to do. We'll be very careful. I also got to think about what I'm spraying, what's over it. We have a dog dish here. You want to go ahead and flip that upside down. And we'll inform the client to go ahead and wash that out. This product's going to dry clear. It won't damage the siding at all or hurt any plants. When it hits the bushes, a lot of spiders live in the bushes. This will help with plant pests, but that's not what I'm doing here today. It's going to do structural pest control. Now once this product dries, depending on how much sunlight, heat that hits it, it's going to start biodegrading immediately. And about 30 days, we'll probably be down to about 70, 60% of what we treated here today. We use a very low concentration of the product. Again, we have to consider safety and also the label directions to tell us what to do. So we're going to go all around the structure, treat the complete outside, similar to what I did over here. Any solid surfaces below, I'm not going to treat those upper areas because there won't be any benefit to that. I'll use a hand sprayer, but I wouldn't deliver as much volume. So it just kind of gives you an idea what we do when we come out here and spray the outside of these structures, what we're doing. The customer knows not to come out here until it dries. A day like today where we got kind of foggy, kind of moist out with a little humidity, it's going to take about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. You wouldn't want to allow the pets and or family members to come out, even though we've got that low toxicity to mammals with the caution label product. And the next step, we'll go ahead and use a hand sprayer around the doors and windows, and I'll show you how that works. Our application to this structure is going to be using the hand sprayer around the windows and the doors. And the reason we're using this is because I can be a lot more precise and I don't want very much volume. Also, I don't want to get any product on their windows. We came here to solve a problem for them, not create them. So if I get any on the windows, I'm going to use a paper towel and a window cleaner to take care of that. What we're using is a stainless steel 1 gallon B&G sprayer. It's the same formulation that's in that tank as in this tank. And again, we're using a caution label product. I'm going to use a little gravity, let that come down. Now this has got a lip here, so I'm not real concerned about it dripping down. To stay above that, you have to be real careful. I've done this a long time, my 31st year doing this, so my aim's going to be pretty good. Trying to get this into the cracks and crevices, because that's where the insects are going to be. The insects and the spiders. The threshold real good. Oh, I missed a web. There we go. Get that off of there. I know there's a spider hiding in there somewhere. And that's how we do around the doors and windows. And that ought to do it.